Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 20th anniversary show of the Kenosha Today show, which spans about 1,000 shows. And joining me tonight are my very special guests, along with the clips that you're about to see. Man, look at how gray my hair is. We'll go over here.
At least you have hair, buddy.
State Senator Bob Wirtz joins us for a limited amount of time until this could get ugly, Bob.
Then I'm going.
Yeah, that's why you wore the tennis shoes. I can see that. And if we go back to the other side, one of my co-hosts, the first year from '96 to about '97, Mike Bjorn.
I dye my hair gray as well.
Yep.
And my director and our video coordinator on WIP, and for the last 5, 6 years?
5, yeah.
5, 6 years.
Before we get going, I just want to explain, all these clips were taken off of VHS, so they're going to be the sound's going to be a little goofy and grainy.
That's the least of our work.
Yeah. But just so you know, they were all because the first VHS was from 97. Yeah, I started with 97 through 2006.
Then we became on the DVD.
But actually, DVDs really didn't come into effect till about 2003 for music, and that they were designed and created in
So
95.
we're getting the excuse part of this.
Yeah, for the
See,
crap.
Bob, that would be a good politician. You get your excuses out of the way first, right? All right, now we're going to start because we've got a bunch of.
We're going to start with number 2 then.
Number 2. This was. Now I have no idea.
Yeah.
What's going on here because Ron kept me in.
This is an old monologue from 1998.
Okay, Jason, go ahead. Oh, a tuxedo from the yards. Oh, look at
Like
this.
a Boy Scout.
Legislation to require tougher health warnings on non-alcoholic or on all alcoholic beverage containers, claiming that normal consumption may lead to alcoholism, and even worse, moderate consumption may lead young people to end up looking like either B. Arthur or Abe Vigoda. So,
I was told by my doctor to drink. He looks a little bit like Abe.
or a miniature B. Arthur. Well, here's a cute sports story about if you move your attaboy. 7-foot 9-inch a North Korean basketball player named Michael Rhee, and his real name was Rhee Mung Hom, I believe it, Rhee Mung Hom. But he recently changed his name in honor of his longtime idol Michael Jordan. And at 28 years old, this guy hopes to be playing in the NBA as early as next year even, possibly even with the Chicago Bulls, so that he could play with his other idol, Dennis Rodman, which I guess means he'll have to change his name to Phyllis.
Or Shirley.
Shirley. Right. Well, did you see this story about this local radio DJ who got himself into a little hot water, literally, when he jokingly said on April Fool's Day,
What day was that?
April Fool's Day, that Kenosha's water was contaminated. And Fred Nelson wasn't amused, claiming that water is serious business. I say amen to that. We know just how he feels. For example, last week when Spike heard we were going to have Michael Jordan, remember, Jack Nicholson, Madonna, Bill Clinton, he watered all over the Channel 34 logo across the hall. And finally, some local political news this week when it was announced that the First Lady, you see this, is scheduled for a visit to Kenosha later this month to campaign for...
Yeah.
And the first
Wow.
lady would have been, back then, that would have been.
In '98 would have been Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
How about it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yep, that was 1998.
Stay the same, right?
20 years later, what's going on?
Isn't
here?
that wild?
Yeah, really, that's
That had
crazy.
to be in '98. That had to be the second anniversary show, and that Tux was
Yeah.
from your place.
Yeah.
And if you saw the dog in the background, that was at your from your place called Spike. And I found this in the locker called Spike's. What have we got? A bone to pick with you, and that was kind of our first attempt at satire. So.
Yes.
And we dressed Spike up. We made him a legendary.
He didn't say a lot, but he worked
meant
hard.
well.
He worked hard.
All right, now this next clip is with the late Howard Brown, and we did this thing called Barnack, which was a takeoff from the Johnny Carson, his version of Karnak. And so this was from...
I think 98 also,
98
right around
also.
there, yeah.
And Howard, God love him, he used to come in here, and he loved coming in here and putting up with our nonsense and
And
getting
getting back to 20, Carson's back on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we
10
go.
o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watch it every night.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the only thing worth watching.
It is.
Anyway,
Reruns.
this is
Antenna TV.
Yeah.
this is Howard Brown and I as Barnack and from 1998.
Gentlemen, once again, we are very fortunate to have with us a frequent visitor here on the Kenosha Today Show. The former spiritual advisor to Hillary Clinton, the all-knowing famed soothsayer from the East, and part-time camel jockey at Dairyland Park. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Barnack the Magnificent. I'm confident, Barnack, that you will.
Okay. Deal them one at a time, off the top.
Very good, sir.
And I must have silence. Complete silence. Reach out and touch someone. Reach out and touch someone. What will Bill Clinton say, or what does it say on the Bill Clinton Family and Friends Plan?
You give
Reach
that
out and
answer,
touch someone.
Barnack. Only you know.
Let's speed this up a little bit there. A bigger bang for the buck.
A bigger bang for the buck.
Little sticky fingers there.
Oh, yes.
How do they pay for cigars at the White House?
Here we go.
Is that the last one?
This must be the last envelope.
And please, it's very important.
Finally, the last envelope.
Envelope. Windows 98.
Windows 98.
What will the Kenosha News be installing after they knock down the east wall?
A good question.
Barnack's got to get out of here. Habib's waiting, and I'll let you.
Oh my God. You know, now that I see these pictures of Howard, I don't think, I'll go back here to Bob, never been a more ambassador to Kenosha than Howard Brown. Seriously, I mean, he was probably the premier, not if and or buts, he was the premier ambassador for all of Kenosha. That's
He was a gentleman. He was everywhere. He just a smile on his face, and he backed every charity around.
Oh my
and
God.
I know social services. When they didn't have a program that helps them, they'd say, "Call Howard."
Yeah.
Call the Kenosha News, and there was his own charity to help out for years and years.
he was the starter of well, actually the Goodfellows Charities
Yeah.
was started way back before he got there, but he kept it going, and it's still going now.
Yeah.
And they service about 3,000 people and disadvantaged children. And God love Howard. We miss him dear, Uncle Howard. And I remember the stories that people would go in and upset with their advertising, whatever. And he goes, oh, because of a mistake. And his great line was, "We didn't charge you 1 penny extra for that, didn't we?" That was Howard. All right, now we're going to go to 1998. Was this Mr. Barter's neighborhood?
Yep, 98.
Oh, I didn't know we started it that early.
Yep.
I can't get over that long gray hair. Well, I must be going through this phase.
Where's you need a sports car or a Harley?
Yes. Oh, here we go. Neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another edition of Mr. Barter's Neighborhood. Gee, boys and girls, this is really a swell neighborhood. We have lots of empty trolleys, median strips, amusing school boards, big spending county boards. Boys and girls, can you spell morons? I'm very sorry about being late, boys and girls, but Mr. Barter was out golfing today and had to stop with Mr. Sprinkler for a couple of Long Island iced teas. See, Mr. Sprinkler makes lots and lots of money watering our golf courses. Boys and girls, can you say privatize this? Hello, boys and girls. Hey, there's Mr. McFeely. Hello, Mr. McFeely. See, Mr. McFeely was one of our local trolley drivers, but unfortunately, Mr. McFeely forgot the route and was also arrested pretending he was Kobe Bryant. And they had to throw his ass out. And now Mr. McFeely is being replaced by Mr. McWerner. Boys and girls, can you say 25 to life? Also, boys and girls,
Here in Mr. Barter's neighborhood, we have lots of little houses owned by our county government. And we offer free housing to employees who kiss up to the county executive. Boys and girls, can you spell ripped off? Oh, say, boys and girls, there's members of our school board. Hi, folks. Wake up, Polly. They wanted your mommy and daddy to vote for a $61 million referendum that would have increased their taxes. Boys and girls, can you say, ain't no frickin' way? And here in Mr. Barter.
Not bad at all.
98. Whew. Well, not a lot has changed. We still don't have a trolley driver that can remember the route. So, hey, and joining us, you know, for a while there, we started at 6:30. So, Pat, get over here and get this shot of Pat Garrett's joining us. So, you know, Pat would always come in. We started at 6:30. Ron, he'd get there about 6:29 and a half.
Yep,
So this is not news to us.
I thought it was at 6:30, so I rolled in. What is it, 6:20?
Yeah.
No, it's 6:12 only.
Yeah, you're early.
You're way early.
All right, we're going to get to some of these other. Now, this was
Floyd Turbo.
what Sonny and Scare. This,
No, Floyd Turbo's next.
Oh, Floyd Turbo. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. This
Floyd
was
Turbo.
also a takeoff from a Johnny Carson thing called, I think, Floyd R. Turbo is what he
Yeah.
called it. So I hope we don't get in a copyright.
I believe
This is
that's
also
called a ripoff.
1998. Here we go. That's also from Bjorn. Of the greatest country on the planet. And I'm here to express my outrage against the organization called the Kenosha History Center. 6 months ago, I asked their president, Elise Shelley, to see their financial statements because there appeared to be $130,000 that was either lost, scammed, or missing from one of their stock market accounts. Ms. Shelley and her campus associate, Ray Forgiani, have denied me access to those statements, claiming they are not subject to open record laws. Hey, it's not like I'm looking for weapons of mass destruction. All we want to do is look at your Dow Jones average. We, the people, our county government, you and me and even my Uncle Morty, who, by the way, just got married out in Massachusetts to his friend Saul, have shelled out over $400,000 of our tax dollars in the last 4 years to help support these yahoos. Oh, sure, the Rambler Gallery has one AMC car, only because all the Edsels are still in the shop. And the Yesteryear Gallery is filled with wonderful artifacts that remind us of simpler times gone by, like when the ward never had to spank the beaver. And now the Lighthouse Gallery is looking more like a poster ad for dandelions, weeds, and Scud missiles. Therefore, as a citizen of this great city, I have filed a complaint with our Wisconsin Attorney General's office, Keg Laugenschlager. Apparently, Ms. Shelley claims she knows Keg personally. Probably met her at an AA meeting. Keg Laugenschlager. You know, that quote, remember, Mike? Go back this side. When I said I need a quote because I'm going to do some of these things. I didn't know that was when we first, a couple times we did this. So he says, you go down in my basement and you go way back to the corner, and that's where I found it. I says, that was a kind of a snappy quote.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it was. Yeah.
What did I pay you about?
That
About
baby
30?
can talk what it would say.
All right, now the next clip is, I think this. What do you have a year on this, Ron?
No, after that, I don't have any
It had
more
to be
years.
probably about maybe about 2000. I think this was with Willie Sturba, and we called it Sonny and Scare. I believe this is what this is. This might be the first time for the red dress. I think.
It's minute 45
All right,
seconds.
go ahead.
Pretended he was Sonny, and
Oh.
you'll recognize
Oh,
his
yeah.
companion, which was Sonny and Scare. Here we go.
Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can climb. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. me tight. I got you and I won't let go. I got you so lost and soul. I got you, babe. It's my crown. I got you, babe. 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 Scott's long lost sister, Scare. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Goodness gracious. You know, in my own defense,
Yeah, right.
if there was one, in those years I wasn't drinking as much as I do now. And in that dress, I can recall,
He liked
it
it.
looked a little tight, but I was retaining a lot of water in those years. So, man, you got to kind of
Long Island water.
Oh, Ron, what did you? Oh, and this is next one. This had to be about 98, 99, somewhere in there. Heavyweight wrestler Haystack Ross was going to be at this Wrestle Slam at Carthage, and I think that this is the one where I was going to be his manager in his corner. Okay, this is Haystack Ross.
Something about you.
Haystack Ross! All right. You're looking good tonight.
I'm feeling good,
geez,
Scott.
You came in from where? Someplace?
I
Chicago? or
just
where?
happened to be in Chicago. I was talking to my agent about some
Oh,
commercials,
okay.
things like that.
Weight seems to be down a little.
I'm down to a svelte 631 right now.
Hey, first thing we have to do is clear up a misconception that Mr. Nice Guy started between us a couple months
yeah,
ago.
misconception.
He tried to lead people to believe that there was some, I guess, animosity between the two of us, and I had to call my answering machine and sound a little miffed about some things. So I guess we should, clear the air, because he really tried to get us, at odds with each other. And
I'm sure you didn't say anything, Scott, right?
me? No, I didn't say
No,
nothing.
really?
We have the tapes.
Actually, I did talk to Keith, the producer here, and he gave me a list of all 12 of your viewers. And what I did is I called every one of them to hear what you guys, to hear what was said.
Yeah.
Come here,
And we're glad you're here to clear that up.
to clarify some things.
Yeah.
And, I thought I'd come with some goodwill.
And
And
we,
then you throw a salad bar joke in the top 10.
well,
What's up with that? I mean, I'll tell you one thing,
we try to
Scott.
make all our guests feel at home.
I appreciate it, Scott. By the way, cake rhymes with snake. Not Dave, not bread.
You must have gone on to college. I mean,
I think Scott's been in the ring too long.
yeah.
I educated.
My head's hit the turnbuckle once too many.
By the way, I just want to bring up one thing. Just one thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Because I talk to people all across this world, and I was actually out west when I got a call about some of the things you allegedly said on this show.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Anyways, it's funny how you were talking all sort of mean stuff about me.
No,
I think I was in his corner. I was his manager. That had to be a long time ago. He was a big boy, and he was on this WrestleMania here in Kenosha.
Carthage and that, I think they had.
And when he alluded that he contacted all 12 of our viewers, here we are 18 years later, and like Senator Wirt said, we're now up to 15.
Yeah.
So we're going in the right direction. All right, the next one you got here, Ronnie, is a lingerie interview. I think this will be about 98, 9. No, probably closer to 2000. If this is the one I'm thinking about, this gal.
Yeah, it was a
This
single
gal, actually, she was a manager for one of the women's lingerie places out in Pleasant Prairie there. If this is what I'm thinking about, so I think let's go for
Again, a lot of the guys, I suppose, are going to dread this time of season because we have to go out and buy presents. Not necessarily that they don't like holiday giving, but according to our Kenosha Today survey, guys just don't know how and what to buy when it comes to the ladies. So in our effort to keep the community informed on this very important issue, we invited Tracy Schultz from Olga Warner's which is out by the
Lakeside Marketplace.
to bring in some samples, and we're going to see how this works out. Tracy, welcome.
Thank you. And this is a real big thing for the season too. This is called Velvet Burnout, where the
Burnout?
Yeah, well, the fabric's kind of burnt away, where you can see there's some sheer, and a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show you will be sheer. That's a big thing right now.
That's very see-through.
Yes, very see-through, very sheer,
Now,
very pretty.
Would a guy come in and ask for this specifically, or would you have to steer
No,
him?
a lot of times I'll suggest, if they're absolutely clueless, then I usually will suggest, and that happens quite a bit. I will suggest nightgowns.
That's why you're here.
Yes, and nightwear.
Okay. Yeah, figuring out the size. How do we do that?
Okay, well, your best bet is if you have, a wife, a girlfriend, or significant other, your best bet is to look in her lingerie drawer before you leave the house and look in the label in the back and figure out her bra size and her panty size, because I can't tell you how many guys I have come in and go, she's about this big. Well, that doesn't really help me out,
Why do you do that?
Guys will tend to pick out something like this, which is real,
Why would a guy, a healthy, well, I guess.
Well,
we all
come
know a
on. Well,
healthy guy.
Scott, you told me. I mean, why would you pick out something like that? You'd like, this is very sexy, very pretty. This is definitely something, a guy that, they'll gravitate towards something like this. It's got a little skirt over a thong panty. The bra, this is an easy one because it fits A, B, or C cups. So that's an easy one to fit. So again, that's something that I would steer somebody towards because that's easier to fit.
Keith, are you writing this down?
I want to know if you can wear that.
Well,
Me?
I can't believe that a woman would bring that in front of a young, impressionable guy like me. Even 18 years ago. I'm lucky I turned out like I did. Right, Pat?
Pretty good shape for the shape you're in.
Senator, you sticking around for a little more?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, is
I
there
hooked on the fashion show.
is there an escape hatch in the floor?
As we go along, this is a Floyd Art Turbo on golf. This must have been another one of our editorials.
Yeah, it was an
as
old
we
one.
get to about 2000. I think we're about 2000. So here's Floyd Art Turbo on golf. Father and devoted bogey golfer, I am here tonight to oppose all this trash talking about privatizing our county golf courses. I say stick it in your sand trap. Some county board supervisors claim the courses lose money and they want to hand it over to some private yahoo who will now make millions. I say this would be classified as a level 5 disaster. Here's what I predict would happen. The prices to golf would go up so high, we would end up paying more for golf than we do to ride the trolley. Also, the quality of our courses would decline, and the fairways would end up looking like the Sheridan Road median strip. In addition, this would put a good number of our union brothers out of work and create an undue hardship on their families. After all, look what happened when Ozzy Osbourne got laid off. It is my contention that the courses make lots of money, and if they would merely follow my 10 steps, you will see why. 1, cut back on some of the overpriced staff. This would save thousands of dollars, and they could be put to work in areas they are better qualified for, like the drive-thru and Mickey D's. Next, eliminate the free use of county cars for staff members. If they want a free ride, they can sign for free rides on the trolley with the other 60,000 people the city claims rides this thing. Also, stop using the Arthur Anderson method of accounting and report expenses like Enron did. Then we'd be making so much money we could hire Bill Gates to be the golf course superintendent. It was just brought up to me. I guess here we are at almost 20 years, and I thought I just kind of made mention of the trolley in passing. But apparently I had some issues with the trolley for the last 20 years.
So hammering on it.
Hammering on it back. But there's your snappy Bjorn sport coat there.
The trolley is still a topic of conversation in town.
Well, what about the sport coat?
That's still a
So,
conversation.
you know, if
yes.
anybody really wants a sport coat like that, you can go down to Mike Bjorn's and they got them you got them in all sizes now. Right?
Nowadays, you better
That's-
believe it.
That's probably
That stuff proved so popular, I'd been nuts not to go into it more. You know?
speaking of nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now, this next clip you say is Lou Ragani, right? Yep. I have no idea what year this is, and I'm not sure what we did. Where was this?
Just sitting talking like this.
Are they on the trolley or what?
No,
Louis was
Home
here?
hands.
Okay, well, here's my good friend Lou Ragani.
You told me this was at MSNBC.
He's sitting right here. He's Lou Ragani, Mike.
This is 98.
Mr. Lovable, the Honorable, Everlasting Louis Ragani. Just the way you wrote that out there, huh? Now, it's always...
There's only one you in Ragani.
Who cares? They can't see this out here, right? Hey, you're all dressed up. We're glad to see you join our
Made it myself. Broke a fingernail. Yeah.
What is this? Is this lamb's wool or
No, this is what's left over from a carpet I threw out.
Oh, really? And,
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little stiff,
get
but-
the matching turtleneck and scarf here and the jeans.
Thank you.
Shoes
Can
are
I
all
comment
polished
on
up?
your ensemble?
On my ensemble? So what have you been up to these days?
I'm up to 6 feet now. No, I am really. I go to Height Watchers. Yeah, gained an inch last year. I work out in the doorway every night, with the noose. Works for me.
Are you hanging yourself in the doorway?
You want to just keep going with this, or
But I've developed a fear of widths.
width?
Yeah, widths, not widths.
Oh, width.
Fear of widths, I wouldn't have to worry here, I
Hey,
guess.
we have this little
Seasonal decoration.
seasonal decorations. You want some candy?
I bet it's full. I thought so.
Son of a gun.
This is the Scott Barter show, folks.
Well, this is about as seasonal as we're going to get, because
I did find some pretzels out there. I think it belonged to the engineer.
Yeah, well, we're out of sandwiches. The prime rib was gone by the time you got here. You should get here a little earlier. You're going to be going to the Channel 14 party? There's a bug on my thing.
Yeah.
Are you going to go?
That's a ladybird beetle.
Oh.
Or it's or person bird beetle, as it's politically correct to say now.
The question on the table was, were you going to the Channel
The
14
ladybird's on the
party?
table too.
Not anymore. I just flipped them off.
Oh, really?
Now,
That's
are you
cool.
going to the Channel 14 party? It's coming up, I think it's this Saturday.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't
You
know.
can go and you save some pizzas, so I should get there earlier before you do. Because last time you were there, you had...
You're the guy that
pockets all
inhaled it
full.
last year. Did
No,
you see,
I
did
didn't
you see
have
the
it.
size of those pizzas? You came in with those plastic bags, that they give away at Food for Less. This guy came, I'm serious, came in and the bags
Lou would be mighty proud to see that one at this point in time. I don't know where to go. This is Elvis Kirby, David Elvis Kirby, and I believe this was on the stage at Trumper High School. I believe this would have been right after 9/11. I think. Yeah. I think this was. If this was this with the pig?
No.
Oh.
I don't think. No, not the one with the
Oh,
pig.
then this. I don't know when this.
You were
is
on
from.
stage somewhere. A lot of people are walking by. You were outside. I
Oh,
think.
this was relay.
To all the girls I've loved before, who traveled in and out my door, I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I loved before, to all the girls I once caressed. I say I've held the best for helping me to grow. I owe a lot, I know, to all the girls I've loved before. The wings are always blowing, and every time I tried to stay, the winds of change are continue blowing, and they just carried me away. For all the girls who shared our life, well, now I'm someone else's wife. I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I've loved before, to all the girls who cared for me, who filled my nights with within my heart.
That's enough of that.
Enough of that.
Bob says, how come everybody was leaving? Well, you just saw it a minute and a half. What was your point? You're lucky they weren't running. Now, Pat and I, we've done our version of that. We kind of, but we kind of reworded that a little bit. We're going to have to come back at a later date and show the upgraded version 15 years later.
If you could call it upgraded.
Yeah, upgraded.
Yeah.
Now, Ron's got another Sonny and Scare. Who was this with?
Same.
Willie?
Yeah.
But this was a different time?
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me we didn't mature enough and learn our
No,
lesson?
you kept
we
doing
We
it.
did it
Yep.
5 years later?
Yep.
All right, well, let's see what happens with this.
It's only 1 minute and 46.
She was beating down the door to get in here. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, let you put your hands together. Let's give a warm Kenosha welcome to the only girl that wears a 12 AA. And I'm not talking, no, never mind. Let's hear it for Scare. Come on up, we're gonna sing one together.
That's scary, all right.
It's scary, huh? Oh, is this gonna be my key? Yes, it is. It's in the key of green. You can play that.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out until we grow.
Well, I don't know if all that's true, 'cause you got me and baby, I got you. Babe, I got you, babe. Harmony, right? Yep.
They say our love will pay the rent, or it's earned our money. Oh, it's one little off.
What'd you spend the money on those singing lessons for? Oh,
Reading, I have a problem with.
I guess that's so we don't have a pot. At least I'm sure of all the things we got.
Babe,
I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got flowers in the spring, and I got you.
God, I hope my grandkids and my daughters aren't watching this.
It was a little better.
One ugly blonde gal. You know what? In the last two clips, they showed this guitar I got specially made from Gary Jeffson, who was with the, what's the name of his group?
Oh, shame
It's
on
not
me.
the Stingways, it was the Chevelles.
Chevelles, right.
And as you can see, I was a pretty accomplished guitar player, and the only problem I did, there's no strings in this thing. It never has been for
Keeps
20
his
years.
money in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me. A couple years ago, Pat was playing on the free stage down at Taste of Wisconsin, and he was playing on the free stage for tips. And the biggest tip he got was some guy gave him $5 and tell him what his first score.
Putting up with Scott every week.
All right. Now, this is, we always try to do a top 10. We still do that. Now, this is from 2003. And,
It leads into the Kringlegate.
Kringlegate. What was the Kringlegate thing about? That wasn't Bluegate. This was Kringlegate. There was something.
Jason knows about it.
Jason, what was the Kringlegate? Do you remember what the Kringle? There was some big scandal going on about.
Was that down by Dayton or something? No, I can't remember.
Mike, Kringle, wasn't there?
I remember something about Kringle, but I can't remember the issue. Maybe
we'll
it'll come
see.
to us.
We'll see. All right,
We'll
here's
catch it on that.
Kringlegate.
First, the top 10.
What is
Top 10
authentic
list.
Kringle or whatever, you know?
The show tonight's top 10 list from our home office in the lobby at Mufflers Plus, tonight's top 10 category. Now, here's something I think that everybody ought to enjoy. The top 10 ways to better enjoy the Kenosha Today Show. Right? Okay. You haven't heard these yet. Number 10. Keep your remote control in the off position. Yes. Number 9, during City in Jeopardy, scream out, "This really stinks." Number 8, have the Dalai Lama be a monologue consultant and replace you. Number 7, after your 5th Long Island, the host starts to look pretty good. 6, after your 6th Long Island, the jokes even start to seem funny. Number 5, it's simulcast along with the Osbournes. Number 4, dangling members of the studio audience over a 3-story building or railing. What was it? Let me again. Try that one more time. Number 4, dangling members of the studio audience over a 3-story railing. One more time. It was not gonna happen. Number 3, have the director show more cleavage. Number 2, for real laughs, change over the Kenosha School Board meeting And the number one way to better enjoy the Kenosha Today Show, 5 words. Applause sign in your bedroom. Now, watch this. Watch this. Big time sound effects here.
Well, that had nothing. Well, as you said, we'll accept anybody that wants to write us a top 10 list.
Well, absolutely.
Drop them off here, and there's only a few words that you can't say, but if we can't say it, we encourage you to come in and
Let
read
them say it.
Yeah, right.
Let them
Don't let us
pursue it.
yeah, right. Struggle every week.
But audience participation is not a bad thing.
No.
And get involved with Access 14. You just may enjoy yourself.
Now, speaking of participation, we had the big thing back in October, right before the November election. And there was that to-do down at the Dayton Hotel with the... Oh, this is when...
Brokaw from Last Edition News reporting to you live with a breaking story from the Dayton Hotel here in beautiful downtown Kenosha. Charges have been levied against gubernatorial candidate Jim Doyle for allegedly using Dayton Hotel residents to fill out absentee ballots in his behalf. Details are a little fuzzy, but here's what we do know. On October 9th, Dayton officials ordered 33 absentee ballots for its approximately 70 residents. Now, these ballots, by the way, were complete with hanging chads. However, they were not, and I repeat, not of the butterfly variety. Rather, they were the all-new Kenosha Butterball type. Now, as we know, these type of Butterball ballots are most commonly found lying along unused trolley tracks and in tall weeds along new median strips. As of this point in time, I got to tell you, things look really good for Al Gore, and he could be declared the winner.
Good evening. This is Al Brokaw reporting to you with the Last Edition News Update on an exclusive story we broke here on the Kenosha Today Show last week. Kringlegate 2000, the scandal of the century, this week. As we reported earlier, staffers from the Democratic Party allegedly offered residents from the Dayton Hotel Kringle quarters and supposedly had them participate in some ho-dunk bingo game in return for their absentee ballot vote. Allegations of misconduct, unethical, crooked, and now denial have all surfaced in the last few days. There the Republicans go nitpicking again. Last Edition News reported last week that Dayton residents were never really in any danger during the event, mainly because a convicted felon was on the premises and was in constant contact with their parole officer, who, by the way, is the...
Hard to believe that, Bob, Democrats would stoop to such a low point to buy votes with a thing of Kringle.
Well, I like to think Republicans were denying veterans the right to vote down there.
Yes. That was 2000. We were sitting around here. I had no idea what Kringle grade was, but now I remember that was when Doyle went down. It was innocently enough. He bought a couple Kringles and tried to buy their votes. I mean, well, that's why would Doyle spend time going to the Dayton Hotel? Not that their votes weren't worth anything.
A vote is a vote.
That's right.
Right.
This next thing is labeled interview, Ron. What is this? I don't know. Who was I interviewing?
3 guys with the wigs on.
3 guys with wigs on more than me?
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
List for tonight. Please, there he is. Lounge Lizard, lukewarm. You saw him before.
And of course, you wouldn't want that, you know?
The man in plaid,
Of course, they're right.
man in plaid,
Watch yourself.
Red Bob Z.
Do you mind getting that heat out of my face?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
And then Delicious Dino. You gotta put that out. You gotta put that out.
Do you mind?
Hey, is this in a restaurant?
You know,
My mouth can smoke. And then bringing some sense of.
this is crimping my phlegm.
All right. Dave McGrath. Now I put it on.
You know?
All right, Dave. Now you drop it. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about, and we'll go, because it's a panel discussion, we'll start with Mr. Luke over there. How do we perceive ourselves as men? I mean, apparently some women haven't given us some very high marks. I mean, they don't have a very high opinion of guys.
I don't see why not. I mean, if you can get on the dance floor and do the moves and do the shaking and shake that booty, shake that booty. They should be all over you.
So it's a dancing thing with you, right?
For me, yeah.
For you, okay. Right.
Well, you know, just take the thing with that Anna Kournikova, you know?
I'll take Anna Kournikova.
Everybody gets down on us, you know, because, hey, she's good looking and that. But, hey, you know, I admire her, you know. Her athletic ability. I think she's one hell of a bowler. You know?
She hasn't won a match yet, has she? Anna Kournikova, the bowler, sometimes the tennis player.
Oh, is that what she does? She beat me.
Let me cut right in here right now. Let me stop this whole
Who do you think he is, Merv?
Listen, we're talking about Kenosha here.
Yeah.
And the women, oh no. I hear you, you know. Sorry.
Women
in town in Kenosha.
I'm glad we cut that away. It got a little ugly, if I remember after that. Poor Dave McGrath. I don't remember what the topic was. If it was Valentine's Day, and I think the topic was we were trying to figure out how to buy women gifts, and you know more about buying
Scales.
Scales.
Yeah,
The master. The master.
Yeah.
Snow Queens. I think this was a fundraiser.
Racine, I think.
No, I think this was at the yacht club.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This was a fundraiser for the lighthouse, restoration of the lighthouse keeper's cottage. And we had this, I believe this was in January, February, and Snow Queen, John Gilmore, remember they used to own Frank Diners, was running against Kim, and I forget her name, for Snow Queen. You know, if this is what it is, I think it is.
2003. Pitted John Gilmore for Snow Queen and Kim Sellers. And here's a clip from our Snow Queen 2003 at the Water's Edge Regatta. Contestant, the all bought buttons, please welcome first candidate for Snow Queen 2003, Kim Sellers. John Gilmore. Start with their platform, and we'll go with Kim first.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. And first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today and helping us support our charity today.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, dear. Why do I want to be Snow Queen? Because actually, my next step is going to be mayor. After I win Snow Queen, I'm going to be running for mayor for next election. And, you know, not only that, just the ultimate humiliation John would just be actually more than I could bear. So please, I would like and appreciate it very much if you all support me and cheer loudly and make me your Snow Queen of 2003.
Jeff has got all that down, all right?
You cut it out right.
More.
John Gilmore's
I just did 2 minutes. I
explanation
would
of
just do
Snow
2
Queen was
2 minutes.
even better than that. That was a fundraiser. I think we made about 10 grand on that particular Sunday. It was in January. Nothing else was going on. And it just proves one thing. I ain't the only loony in town. Now this next thing was with our radio co-host from on our Saturday morning show.
You might not recognize him.
Little Stevie Casey. He was a little Stevie Casey in this thing.
Yeah, you might not
and this was
recognize
probably from, what, 2004 maybe?
Yeah, could be.
When he and I did a Barnack thing. So here it goes. Give him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are very fortunate to have with us a frequent visitor here in the Kenosha Today Show, a former Kenosha trolley driver, the all-knowing famed soothsayer from the East, and part-time camel jockey at Dairyland Greyhound Park. Please welcome Barnack the Magnificent.
Barnick's, this is wearing his summer outfit, but they can't seem to find his winter garb. It's been misplaced.
It's getting cold. You're going to need that.
Yeah.
You're going to need that.
Okay.
All right. Barnack, I have in my hand the envelopes which contain the answers to today's timely topics. And these unopened envelopes have been licked and sealed and kept in a closet at the Dayton Hotel since noon today. You, with your magnificent power and wisdom, without ever having seen the contents of these envelopes, will ascertain the answers to these very questions. Are you ready for the first envelope?
You are right, old liposuction one. Now, Barnack must have complete silence. Complete silence. Hi diddle diddle.
Hi diddle diddle.
Where'd that come from? What do you say to your diddle every morning?
Oh boy.
Maybe my camel
Oh,
bead
boy.
spit on your cranial.
Envelope.
Promotions unlimited.
Promotions unlimited.
What happens in Kenosha when you get a diploma from LaSalle University? I got him now.
You got him now. Next envelope.
Now, don't,
Next envelope.
Keep one at a time off the
One
top.
at a time off the top.
One at a time off the top. .10.
.10.
What is the average IQ of an afternoon bar patron over at Sunnyside Club?
Boy, that was indeed little Steve.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
about 2014 years ago, and
Yeah.
well, he's come a long way, baby. Huh?
Life is
As
good.
we all have.
Life is good.
Wait till he sees that. This next says old married couple. Is this from a?
60 years or something they were married, or 50.
Was this, I think, a Valentine's special?
Yeah, I think it was.
And this couple, which I had ran into at the yacht club, he was a retired sheriff. I think it was John Landa's father.
Could be.
I believe
Yeah,
this is what
could
that is.
be.
I forget what it is. Ed and Mary Ann. I think that's what this is.
Our Valentine's special. Please welcome Paul and Mary Landa. All right, now this is a milestone, being married 56 years. Is that right, Paulie?
That's pretty close.
Pretty close, give or take, right? So now you're obviously both retired. You're not working, right? You're not working anymore, right?
Nobody wants to hire
Nobody
me.
wants to. Well, you could be a trolley driver. You can remember the route, couldn't you?
Oh,
Maybe Warner can let you use his uniform.
if I was, could remember the routes, I'd be working.
Now you had how many children?
6.
6 children, right? And what did you do you worked for the county? You were
I was on the sheriff department.
Sheriff Department, right?
Kenosha County
And
Sheriff.
so how long were you on the Sheriff's Department?
Oh, about 40 years.
40 years, right?
It only seemed like it was 28.
28 years? Okay.
That's
I worked the
28
third
years on
shift.
the third shift.
So now
also.
that brings me a question now. You worked third shift, and you had 6 kids, right? How does that kind of work out? I mean,
Well, I had good neighbors.
I have my own answer for that question.
Yes.
Thank God he worked third.
I mean, you could have been up a even dozen. You could have had a whole football team and a sub, right?
Good thing I was on third shift.
So, grandkids? How many grandkids we got?
13 grandkids and 4 great-grandchildren.
Yeah.
What do you think that the difference is between married couples today and, let's say, they were 30 and 50 years ago?
What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, what's the big problem? I mean, the divorce rate's over 50%, and here, wonderful couples like you have been there. It's not to say you've never had an argument over 50 years, right?
No.
You know,
Very good, very
that
good.
was one of the joys, many joys, but that happened to be one of the wonderful people that we've had in here over 20 years. They were a delight. That was a Valentine's special, and unfortunately, I mean, we all get older and we pass on, but that was a precious night.
Another Valentine's special coming up.
This is, it says Cupid. Now, I don't recall. Was I Cupid? Or just
You'll
plain
see.
stupid?
No, you'll see.
You know what this is?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I'm sure.
But it's not you for the time. It's not you for
You're
the
sticking
time.
with us, Bobby? You got to go.
It's not you.
All right, all right. This must have been another Valentine's special. I don't know what this is.
Show Cupid. So, is Cupid ready? All right. Take this camera and tilt it down a little bit, David, because we got a little glare in the top there. There, we a little more there, a little more there. Okay, where's Cupid?
Getting there, chill.
All right, we got to mic him up. Now, this is our version. Please welcome Cupid. Now, move to your left a little bit. That's the side, yeah.
Which is left?
Now,
Where's up?
words cannot describe. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Now, you're playing Cupid. No, you slow down there, cowboy. Now, please note that you're available on Valentine's Day, which is coming up, right? And people can call and have you come over. God knows, leave the back door open. Shut the porch light out. But if we can get a view, start from the feet, and we'll kind of let you talk. You've got the appropriate. Those are running shoes, no doubt. And check out the red fishnet stockings. So those are appropriate for Valentine's. Cupid, do you talk at all?
We do.
Yeah, we do. And then, of course, you just come with the accessories. You got the love all over. Pull that up a little bit, will you? we got standards on this show. Pull the word love up a little bit, will you? Pull the word. Not exactly. Jesus. All right. Well, I guess we're not going to get much out of you. Are we? So, and then you've got the wings that helps you fly and spread love as much as you can. And then you got the accessories. And now, when you do the bow thing, I mean, that's the arrow of love, right? So if you hit somebody in the ass, that'll be it, huh? Boy, oh boy! We had standards, but that was the infamous. Yeah, we'd always set the bar here and then taper down from there. But that was alcohol might have played a part in Frankie's.
I think the first time I was on the show, he was the camera guy. Was that a promotion or a demotion?
Yes, he was a camera guy when the first time you were in.
Pretty sure.
That had to be in 2004. You didn't get here to 2005, huh?
Yeah.
And then you had a little hiatus, a vacation to go write some more songs and watch the trolley go around at the bed and
Research
breakfast.
and development.
Research and development. Now this
County.
is the same guy. This is cooking. I don't know what we were cooking, but
it was Thanksgiving.
Oh, this is a Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We used to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to see what this is.
The guy who does Frank Sinatra.
The preparation of Thanksgiving dinner. This is going to be our holiday Thanksgiving special, and we've had our competition for our 3 finalists. We have the winner, and we're going to announce that right at the end of the show. And now we're going to get to joining me. Please welcome from the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, my favorite place that maybe we can end up paying our bar tab by the end of the night. Please welcome Jim Namio and Frank McCormick right here. Now, did you get a... No, Ben, we need over here. We need here. You get on this side of me, Jim. Watch your cord there. And then we're going to get you a microphone right here. We're going to show you how to prepare a Thanksgiving turkey, and then we've got one that's been in the oven. We've got to go over here. Just give me this thing. And we're going to show you how to slice it up. So I guess I should take my jewelry off.
Organized as always.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right. What do we got? A minute left now?
Are your turkeys ready now?
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's the first thing we got to do?
Well, you might want to start with some protection.
Gloves. Of course. We wouldn't have it any other way.
All right.
By the way, I never...
Keep the
usually a good
bleep
idea.
button close. We're not
I
sure.
never got a chance to give you the nutsack either.
Right.
I'm not protected.
What happened to my glove?
This is not wearing one glove does not send a good message. Wait a
Oh,
minute.
you stole my glove. Is there a left and a right to these, or just we just?
There's a thumb and a pinky.
hole.
Usually good idea to
Hey,
start
easy with that
dressing.
knife there, boy.
I'm Sicilian. I know how to use a knife.
Yeah. All right. What now that I got the number stuck.
We'll see how you-
Don't I get an apron or something?
Actually, you got an apron right here.
Okay. I have my official Boathouse
For the protection.
shirt on. Do I need this really?
Not if you
Am I
don't
going
want
to
to wear
this?
it.
Well,
Didn't make any difference there. I don't. We used to have make 2 turkeys, one to show and one to go, and that was a bunch of nonsense. I brought in 2. Well, they were supposedly cooks at the boathouse. At least that was their title. They are now working out of a red panel truck in the parking lot of the boathouse. But at any rate, the next one is this is boating in the harbors. This one we had the where the thing got sunk.
Yeah.
Okay, what this is, another fundraiser for the lighthouse, and we used to go out in August and have these little boat races around a buoy in the middle of the harbor and come back. And if this is the one, we ran out of a little dinghy, and I used Tom, who's the attorney? Tom
Hartley.
Yeah.
Hartley.
I think this is his.
Did he rescue you?
If his, well, the boat, I told this guy that was driving, don't fall off because, well, you're going to see what happened here. With my partner, Tony Valente, and I told him. I also told him I called him a moron, and I called him a couple other things after you see what happened in this clip.
Really, they claim, and they got all the applause, and then, oh, there's the applause. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, Tony.
Well, Scott,
Yeah, they're waving to the crowd. Yeah, and I said, don't get out of the boat real quick. And look at you. Now, here he goes. He falls off the water. Now, we got big problems right here.
Scott, we were taking in so much water. Come on.
Well, we weren't at that time. We weren't at...
Yes,
No.
Chris and I jumping your aid.
And so they good sports that they are. And so there were some items that we had to get that had washed to the... Now we're taking our little water.
I think she's helping push it down there.
And now... now it's Titanic time. Right about here. Now it gets a little scary because...
I hate to say this, but I just made sure that the boat wouldn't sink. See the foot like that.
Yeah. And now we're in deep trouble, Tony. I'm in deep trouble. You're already on the dock by this
About
time.
30 feet there worth of deep.
And we thank Tom Hartley for letting us use his dinghy there, but I'm thinking I'm going to go over and save the boat, and I thought better not.
Jumped to his aid down.
I'm thinking this boat's going to the bottom.
She pushed it back in.
And it was time for me to use better judgment and look at Teresa. She doesn't want me to leave. See?
That was life-threatening. See, Senator Wirtz left. He bailed on
It was
us.
summertime. How cold was the water? Was it
Actually,
pretty
and
decent?
that was in the early part of August. The surface, as I recall, surface meaning the first 2 or 3 feet, was 70.
Wow.
Now, where the boat went, it was a little colder than
Okay,
that. So, but see, our intention was to do well, and if these guys would listen to me, and I said, as soon as I said, don't fall off the back, exactly what he does, and I'm sure Tom Hartley still remembers his boat going to the bottom of the harbor, and then they yanked it up. So that was 2001. Wow. All right, this next one was a roast. This had to be at the fireside, I believe, for my early 50s birthday party. Is that what this is?
Yeah.
That would have been.
Steinbrink's in there. And
Oh. No. This is at the Casa Capri for one of my 54th, 51st. This was a surprise birthday party, I think. If this was Steinbrink and that, so
Yeah.
Maddox, John Steinbrink, and Dave McGrath.
Much. It's a pleasure to be here today. Here with my good friend. Got to take out some notes here. With my good friend Steve. Scott Barter. What can I say about Scott Barter that hasn't already been said?
Or you can.
Well, let me tell you, as an elected official, I can't say much of it. We're tapes rolling. I can't say much of it at all. What I do know is that he's been the king of the baseball diamond and a legend. A legend in his own mind. We all know about the Scott Barter Show. And I truly appreciate all the times I got to appear. That's right, I never was on your show, was I?
Well, Scott. I remember meeting Scott Barter one night at the boathouse. He had heard me sing and invited me to appear on his show. So we exchanged phone numbers. I waited. 1 week went by. 4 weeks went by. 2 months went by. Finally, my phone rang, and Mr. Barter said, would you like to appear on my show? I'm sorry it took so long to get you there. I said, sure. I'm all excited about going to a recording TV studio and, being exposed to all this high-tech wear and professional organization. I'm thinking I have hit the big time. I get there and I'm like, are we going to have rehearsal? No, there's no rehearsal. This is live with Scott Barter. I'm like, okay.
I apologize for notes ever since the cow kicked me in the head.
That was Cruiser and I have always been really good friends. And over the 20 years, unfortunately, that's the only time he was ever appeared. He always had a scheduling conflict, as they say, right? If we could have ever shown the rest of that, because Steinbrink was delightful. The cow kicked him in the head. Well, if you would have saw the rest of that, you'd have figured this out. Now, this is a thing that we did again on a Johnny Carson thing called, he did it at I guess we call it Aunt Flabby. I think this was the red dress. And who's on here?
Yeah, it was.
Was it Marv Jenkins?
I can't remember. You had the red dress, that's all I remember.
Okay, well, we did it a couple times. Yeah. So here's Aunt Flabby. Flabby.
Where's my song?
Is that it? That's beautiful.
I heard
You reminded me of my ex-wife. You did.
I brought some of my money.
You're right.
Here's my 7 cents.
I was going to give that to Scott.
I think I'll have a receipt, please.
You may. I think that'll probably buy Dean twice.
Don't forget Dean.
So,
do you think he can go twice in the same night?
I don't know. I got to talk to Scott later. I want to see him. Yeah.
My purse will come up with a couple more pennies for that second time. Ooh.
They're not taking call-ins here, right? Well, maybe. You never know. Because I could go postal tomorrow. You never know.
Don't say postal till I win. Now I want to find out about this character to see if my money's going to be well spent.
All right, we'll ask him. Now, your name is Dean Romano. What's the show that you do here? He's got Big Beef.
That's what we called you last night, Big Beef.
It's big business.
No, big business. You said big beef.
Outdoor something or another.
Yeah. You like to do in the outdoors, too.
I guess.
All right, no, that's the last one. That was not one of our more serious moments. That was also Ben Bakke, who actually, Patty was here about 3 or 4 years. He did time with you in that era from about 2003, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And then he got an ultimatum. His wife says either you're going to stay here every Wednesday or we're going to get married. And it's the last time we saw Ben Bakke.
Still haven't decided whether he made the right decision.
Whoa, no, listen.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, this is Barnack with you and I. And I don't you have any idea. This had to be, well, we can tell when it's by just you and I. This had to be, we're getting up to about 2005 or maybe this is about.
No, it's later than that. It's like 10 or 11.
Oh, okay.
11,
Well, here's Barnack with Pat and I. So. Barnack, a little flashy there. You might want to take that camera back just a little bit there, Barnack's good friend, because you don't want to miss the hat, sir. There you go. There you go. See? Now, you've got some things there, right?
I got in my hand the envelopes which contain the answers to today's timely topics. And their unopened envelopes have been licked and sealed and kept in a closet at the Dayton Hotel since noon today. And you with your magnificent power, Barnack, and your wisdom, without having ever seen the contents of these envelopes, will ascertain the answers to these questions.
May Lenny's hairpiece end up in your roadkill chili. Barnack has never seen these, and these are today's timely topics. Deal them one at a time, off the top. One at a time. This is the first one. Barnack better take his glasses off here once. A slumber party
A slumber party.
What do you call 3 air traffic controllers in the tower at one time? Karnick's off to a good start. This is good. This is good. Born to bag groceries.
Born to bag groceries.
What will your diploma say if the school board lowers the graduation credits? Born to bag groceries. This is a special one. Breaking wind.
Breaking wind.
Timing wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to happen, and that
I think Mark threw it.
deal. Yeah, we had a little bad aim that time. Now this next one, our good friend in the late Lenny Kitson joined us. He was the cameraman of the year, volunteered on a whole lot of shows, and this was from 2011, the anniversary show. And Lenny was with us just like we are now, and unbeknownst to us, he brought in bottles of water, what we thought was water. And you'll see what happened because it wasn't water, unbeknownst to us. Go ahead.
That's right.
Lunker.
That's
We
right.
had Lunker.
You took that big lunker. But I got to say that my best moment this last year, my wife got healthy and had a lot of brainstorming over at the boathouse. And I look forward to many more sessions. Because, you know, we accomplish a lot over there. People don't realize that, you know, it takes a lot to put this stuff together. And,
We found out some bar stools don't have backs. That's right.
oh my God! Just to let you know that, you know, that's my favorite thing besides getting healthy.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, I don't understand. Well, anyway, that's not going to work. And, you know, I'm really upset that we had this last thing. And
Do it live.
It's all my fault.
Maybe we should file a complaint.
Should we do all the girls they love before?
Do we know the words?
We don't. Well, we can start.
I happen to have a couple spoons. I got 3 spoons.
I got my harmonica in the back room. We're going to do this song. I don't care how long it takes. We're staying on the air for a couple minutes. I'm going to go get leaving me.
You want to get your harmonica?
Get my harmonica.
All right, hurry it up. It's just, we got about 3 minutes.
Whoa! There goes the tree.
Happy 15th.
That was a freak accident, folks. It was
By a freak.
goes Lenny. Right
Right here. This bush.
And then we figured it out. That water that he gave us, and none of us had it except for him. And you can see him on the whole show. He's going, straight vodka. Anyway, God rest him. Now this was, I'm sitting in the boat. Did you get in the boathouse or was that here?
That was here.
Okay. Well, I'm sitting in the boathouse, way down where we have our conferences, and in comes Lenny, and this was like a couple days before that, in the middle of the boathouse, and here he is. He's my golf caddy. So get yourself centered there, buddy. We're going down the fairway here.
It's a pleasure to be on your show.
No mulligans.
The pleasure is certainly not ours. So,
It's not that enjoyable to be your caddy, though. I went out to the golf course one day, and a pretty girl says, boy, I'd like to ride in one of them carts. And Scott was going to take me golfing, and he says, the girl, here, get in the cart with me, and Lenny can be the caddy. Here I am. So I went out there with Scott, by golly, and
by golly, yeah, that's my...
it was really rough. This is an outfit I wear when I go.
see that. You know, if you don't bring more to the table, Pat and I are going to go back to the blonde jokes pretty quick. All right, but let's go back to your outfit. I'm sure every one of these, the grass skirt, is that because it's too hot?
Well, sure. To be cool, you need grass skirt, and that way you won't be so hot when you're out there.
Are those white
Just don't
pantyhose?
smoke around me.
Are those,
Because I don't want to go up in flames.
Trust me. Is that white pantyhose you're wearing?
White pantyhose? Where? What are you talking about?
On your legs, you goof.
On my legs? No, those are my socks, and that's my combat boots. I got to have combat boots because you drive so many balls into the sand traps that I get the bugs, you know. And a lot of times I thought I was getting them from my girlfriends.
Say, Pussycat, can you kind of turn around a little bit and look into the camera so we can see your face, sir?
Yeah, let me zoom in on that, dude.
And I do have problems out there when I'm caddying for Scott. As a matter of fact, he's so cheap, you know, he won't golf in the daytime. He only golfs at night, so that's why I need this flashlight, so I can find his balls out on the fairway.
Oh.
And also, you see here, I carry 50.
I got to tell you, I mean, in my defense, I had nothing to do with that. This was his character that came into the boathouse looking like that, doing the same thing. So what made me think that he could bring this and bring something to the table here on a Wednesday night? Well, I guess that proved that. Now, this next one is the pole dancers. Yeah. I go into the boathouse, go figure this. And the owner, Jim Matzer, says, I got this new group that they're opening up this exercise place here on 75th Street on Highway 50. And he says, you got to get them in. They do this pole dancing for exercise. Yeah. And these girls are really engaged. So I contacted them, and they came in here, and I says, well, we're not going to take this all that serious. So here's my bout with pole dancing.
There you go. There you go.
That's it.
Keep going down.
There you go.
Very nice. The grace comes with practice.
Yeah, definitely.
One more time. That was not indicative.
Do it from your walk.
Do it from
Do
your
it
walk.
from your walk. There you go.
Take some steps from your basic walk.
Yeah. And then left leg comes around in front. Left leg, left leg.
My other left?
Yep.
Other left. Your actual left.
No, this is gonna
Yep.
Yep. And up there.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I slipped. I slipped.
That's actually why we have this, is constantly throughout the class. You'll notice that we spray these down with rubbing alcohol and clean off our poles.
When did they spray me down with alcohol?
After class.
That's after class.
So the goal for this spin from your walk is you're actually going to take this around the pole to the ground.
Didn't I kind of just do that?
Yeah.
Totally.
All right, what's the next one? Don't we're gonna do a couple more here.
That's cool.
All right.
You want to learn the Virgin?
The Virgin. That's me.
The Virgin.
Thank you very much. Gonna make my mom proud.
There we go.
All right. What's the Virgin?
All right, the Virgin. Again, from your basic walk, you're gonna stop with your outside leg. You're gonna lift your inside leg up and hook it on the pole as high as possible. Outside arm's gonna come across. We're gonna lean around the pole and lift that outside leg up, keeping our legs closed all the way down.
That's the Virgin
That's
part.
the Virgin.
That's the Virgin part.
Is there a doctor? A lot of years since I did. So I got
inside leg, yep. There you go.
Just
lean
at the ankle.
around.
There you go.
Now what am I gonna do?
No, just lean yourself around, and then that outside leg's gonna come to the back of the pole. Sure. Yep. We really encourage women to make the spins their own. So
Yeah, there we go.
that's good.
You know, those girls were a little bit better shaped and had a little more experience and practice than I did. I mean, I just come in and
That's quite an
I was
apparatus to hold
it
somebody
was. They just strung
Was
it.
the base heavy?
Oh
or
my
just
God,
was
yeah.
wide?
Yeah.
Or both?
Yeah.
And they're still in business, believe it or not. I think that had been about 5-6 years ago.
Wow.
But to do what they did, obviously, I wasn't well trained, and when I did that Virgin thing, I was way out of my skill level.
You must have done okay, because I believe that's one of the most watched Scott Barter videos on YouTube.
Is it really?
I think it's got like 42 watches.
Real talent. Real talent.
Now, this next gal was a great singer. She's joined us all the time. Kayla.
She wanted to be here, but she's out of town for work.
She was singing a song, and so I asked her if she could do a dedication song.
Yeah.
So this is a
Personalize
serious
it
thing.
to you.
And here's Kayla.
Scotty B. There you go. That's Scotty B. See how this works out.
MC Scotty B.
Okay. Just to see, because I can have this, and as I get
your
younger.
moment.
It'd be my moment in the sun, because I've not. The only people that sing to me is the cowboy here. And
I mean, he's pretty good though there.
yeah, but he's not as cute as you. Try it, Scotty B. See what happens.
Scotty B,
Do the whole
okay.
thing if you want to.
Okay, I'll start. I'll start from the beginning part.
Oh, yeah, go. Well, that's be good. Good.
I'm thinking things that I mean to say, even though I thought them through today. Scotty, won't you be mine? Won't you be mine, Scotty B? I'm finding it so hard not to stare. I need to know if you care. You know, you make me laugh so hard. You have officially stolen my heart. Scotty, give me your hand. I'll give you my I'll give you my number. Well, that's a start. Scotty, won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Scotty, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What'd you think of that?
That was great.
Oh, I could.
That was one of the more serious ones that we've done, and you know, she did that. It shows you how much talent she has. She did that kind of on a whim without any practicing. So, anyway, this Jason, we're gonna show just because we're running out of time, and I want to show. Can we go past the with Elmo number 29, and go to wrap it up because that's that was kind of a unique night.
Yeah.
People were thirsty. They wanted to get out of here, and when you get to number 30. I want to show a little bit of that because the things we're dragging in the last 15 minutes, and Ron's getting thirsty.
The last
Pat's
15
getting
weeks.
Yeah. So, and then when you got that, it's called Wrap It Up.
Yep.
Okay. And then I want to show the glue gate with Casey, and then as we're getting close up, but I wanted to show the.
And then the dating game at least.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I got to do the dating.
So okay. At least parts of it. So.
Yeah.
This was Ron's in the back. If I set this up, tell me when you got it. You got it. Okay. Okay. Here it is. This is. And so you can put all this. You can just squirt all this jazz on, and it's kind of like the chia pet thing. Wrap it up. Let's go. Okay, well, I'm talking fast. This is by popular demand. And I guess the next thing is here they have a... there was another gift here item that... this is called the Silver Dep. And which this is a remedy, a quick remedy that tarnishes... fork tines, and you can clean up your silver and your brass there. And for those that are really excited about Christmas, here's the thing that you can have. They have the old toilet seat here where you got the double handle here. So in case you're... this isn't working out real well, I don't think. Here's this... what's going on here? What am I missing? Is this meaning we're oh, like that's going to make a difference? Wrap it up? I just see the chairs are going. Go back here. They even will take the chairs out here. Does this mean you? Well, you know what? You know what? It's not like you guys are going to take the desk away or anything. I mean, because I got a couple more of these things to go here, and. I mean, we got some time here. It's some time left to there's some big brushes here, then some way to clean your bathrooms here, and so let's see. Now I got one more here. Oh, here's the removable raised toilet seat for the group that has everything here, and so I think if you're looking for that gift to name your. I guess when they say it's wrapping it up, it's time to go.
The best part of that whole thing, I think, is when I grabbed the magazine out of your
Yeah,
hand.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the icing on the cake.
Jason, this next thing with Gluegate, because we are running time, I got to get a couple more. We're going to forget Calendar Girls, but we're going to go just show about a minute of Gluegate. This is when Steve Casey came in. Oh, this had to be, how long has that been? 4 or 5 years ago with the Gluegate thing. So let's show a little bit of this. And like I said, this has been going on since last October 15th, and I want to make it perfectly clear, we are not here to accuse anybody. All we are going to do this evening is present the facts as we know them. There's a video that we want to show, and then there's a video of a Public Works, 90 seconds of that. And like I said, I have my one on my NCIS, and NCIS stands for Naughty Case Involving Superglue. So, Steve joining us, and we'll let you weigh in before we show this. This was, by the way, Crystal, do me a favor, kind of center. This camera is just drifting for some reason. This was in the paper today, but
no.
Go ahead.
Before we go any further, now you said last time when I came here there would be snacks.
I did.
Your scheduling secretary said there would be a light meal in the back. Didn't they say that?
Well, that's where it is in the back. That's where it is in the back.
Okay.
That's where it's going to stay there.
2 held for horse mistreatment after new search warrant at farm. Pat Giuliani and G. John Ruffalo. Oh no, wrong article. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought.
And we actually showed the I don't know, about 5 minutes and then dum. But to talk about a guy that blossomed in the last 10 years since we saw him in the earlier shows. Stevie
Clean living.
Snacks. At any rate, we're going to forget the Calendar Girls. And then what's Pete on here? What's he?
I filmed it at the TV or the radio station.
All right, let's just show a minute of Pete, who was our engineer on Saturday mornings from WLIP. Saturdays from 10 to 12. Here's Pete. Okay. And by the way, we had started, we made a move to radio in November of 13, and then we did so well, or we didn't do so well, they put us on an hour in 14, and then they extended it 2 hours, so it got to be too much. So we had decided to video record that and play it in our Wednesday night slots, except for this. So okay, here's our buddy Pete for about a minute.
Did you watch Grease live last night? The wet edition?
Huh?
Do you know what Grease is?
Grease. Is that the, hold on. That one thing from that one movie.
That one thing from that one movie.
Travolta?
Yes, but this was a live version done on like 17 different stages and aired on live TV. You didn't watch any of that?
No, I was at home watching Netflix and watching Parenthood.
Oh, that's right.
That's my new
You're
show. Yeah. It allows me to get all my emotions out, my laughing, my crying, get in touch with my feminine side.
It's a lot cheaper than keeping a doctor, right. I understand.
And exactly, I watch it to avoid having to pay a psychiatrist, so I lay
and also you avoid human contact.
Right. Although I did have a lot of human contact on Sunday.
That is not my business.
Not that kind of human contact.
Okay, what did you
I should rephrase that. Human interaction.
Okay, what did you
I talked to some beautiful brides-to-be.
That's right.
Yeah. Got some phone numbers, not for my personal use, but for business
Of course
use.
not, yeah.
That goes to the boss.
That goes without saying.
Yeah. And had a nice dinner with...
That just kind of gives you an idea of the radio studio that we're in. And that show goes live on WLIP on every Saturday from 10 to 12, and then it gets replayed on WLIP from 12 to 2. And then you will see it here.
Debauchery and eating.
What the heck was that? Debauchery.
Anyway. Oh, that's the dating game.
And then we play it here Tuesdays at 5, Wednesdays in this time slot at 6, and then Sundays at 6. Now we've got one clip left.
3 minutes, yeah,
All right,
the dating game. Wrap it up with that.
Let's just play a couple minutes of this. I want to end up early. This was a dating game that Ron set up with Steve, not his real name.
Hi,
And, here
thank
it is.
So,
Sorry.
aren't you supposed to be asking some questions or something?
Yeah, I have mine.
Because somewhere. Yeah,
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Where's your guitar, Pat?
I don't think even a guitar can save me now. Yes. Do you have some questions you'd like to ask
Yeah,
these
sure.
fine bachelors? And they will respond, hopefully.
There we go.
Okay. My first question is, in the summer when I was little, I used to love to visit my grandparents' farm. Taking care of the animals was my favorite part. So which barnyard animal best represents you, and what sound does it make?
Bachelor number one.
Bachelor, oh, okay, I thought they were directed. Which barnyard animal? Let's see. Probably the goat. I don't know, what does a sound a goat make? I don't even know. So. They kill them and suck the blood out of them. That's all. That's been my experience.
Man, I
Very good, very good. Thank you.
That's just awful.
Bachelor number two.
Well, you know, true to my heart, I'm a pig.
Amen. Thank you, Bachelor number two.
Anything else?
Do you have another question you'd like to ask?
You know, actually, I just got a text, and I have to get back to the farm, so I just honestly don't think this is going to work out for me.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
Wow. One question in.
All right, well, thank you. Well, hey, Ron, we got anybody else back there who might... You found some gal in the back dumpster? Out in the alley, huh?
High school.
Oh, hello. So,
I dated her in high school.
what's your name, sweetheart?
Rita Statutory Kardashian.
Whoa.
This is where we don't rehearse. And that whole deal sounded a whole lot better at a Boathouse production meeting
Yeah, yeah.
than it ever did when we got here. See, there's a big difference when you go there and on a Friday night, and then you get here 3 days
Yeah.
later, and guys forget who they
It's
are.
all
and what
fun
they-
and exciting.
Anyway, I want to thank Pat for joining us and being with us, and we got many roads down, and for Mike.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
It's too bad that the first year. A lot of your props were here.
Where does 20 years go?
I think, and of
Yeah.
course, Ron, who's been here for the last 5 years, and then obviously Jason Jason started as an intern. Well, you were an intern about the first year, right? Until they gave you this position permanently, and every time I'd come in, I'd say, we got this different deal, and that he'd be the techie guy and put this on. So I really have to thank him.
1 minute. Wrap it up.
Okay,
Wrap it up. Let's go.
And I got to thank all our listeners and the viewers when we had them for tuning in and putting up with this nonsense. And maybe we put a smile on your face. But I think, guys, seriously, the next 20 years are going to be a lot easier. So anyway,
We got a closing here. I think
we
we got
got
enough
a
time for
closing, and then we're going to wrap it up because we got to get out of here. And so anyway, thank you very much. And this has been Kenosha Today. Next week, when we will be back with more guests, more fun, some more lively interviews. And so from our Channel 14 studio, this is Scott Barter, and this has been Kenosha Today.